Have you ever noticed how certain habits slowly creep in as we age and no one ever pulls you aside to explain what they are doing to our relationships? Look, this is important. It is not about wrinkles or moving slower or forgetting where you put your keys. It is about small, everyday behaviors that quietly change how people feel around us. Most seniors never realize it is happening. They just notice the phone ringing less, invitations becoming rare, conversations growing shorter. The silence feels confusing, it feels personal. And the hardest part is believing this is just how aging works. Stay with me. Because once these patterns are named clearly, they lose their power. And the truth is, you can change them sooner than you think. My name is Judith Carver. I am a senior protection educator. I am not a lawyer and I do not provide legal advice. Everything you hear today is for educational purposes only. When legal or financial matters affect your life, you must speak directly with a licensed attorney or qualified professional who can give advice based on your specific situation. I spend my time helping Americans over 60 understand common risks, patterns, and pressures so they can protect their independence, dignity, and peace of mind. I want to say this clearly before we go further. Your rights do not expire with age. Let me tell you about someone I will call Margaret. Margaret is 71. She is retired. She spent her life helping others. She used to be the person everyone called first. Neighbors stopped by, the family lingered. She felt useful and connected. Then slowly something changed. Visits shortened. Calls felt rushed. At first, she blamed everyone else. People are busy, times are different. But deep down, she wondered if something about her had shifted. The first ugly thing that creeps in is constant negativity disguised as honesty. This one feels reasonable, which is why it is dangerous. Margaret believed she was just telling it like it is. Her joints hurt. The news overwhelmed her. The world felt unfamiliar. So she talked about it every time she spoke. She opened conversations already exhausted. What she did not see was the effect. Conversations began to feel like work. People left feeling heavier than when they arrived. Even justified negativity drains people. No one wants to regularly step into a space that exhausts them. When Margaret tried opening with one neutral or positive observation, something shifted. Conversation softened. People stayed longer. Balance brought connection back. The second ugly thing is letting personal care slide while telling yourself it no longer matters. This one hides behind comfort. Margaret did not stop caring overnight. She skipped small things, hair one day, clothes another. Soon the effort disappeared. She told herself no one noticed. But she noticed. She moved through the day smaller, less confident. Others responded to that energy without knowing why. This is not vanity. It is self-respect. When Margaret made small efforts again to clean clothes and grooming something she liked, she felt more present, and people noticed before she did. The third ugly thing is stubborn resistance to change. Margaret told herself she had lived long enough to know what worked. She refused new technology. She expected others to meet her where she was. But here's the brutal truth. The world does not pause out of respect. Connection follows convenience. The family did not stop caring. They simply communicated elsewhere. Photos and jokes updates continued without her, not out of cruelty, out of efficiency. When Margaret finally tried learning even slowly, connection returned, not because technology mattered, because effort did. The fourth ugly thing is holding on to clutter as emotional armor. Clutter is rarely just stuff. It is fear, fear of forgetting, fear of loss. Margaret kept paper clothes objects tied to her past. Piles grew, rooms became avoided, cleaning felt overwhelming, embarrassment crept in. She stopped inviting people over. Her world shrank to what felt manageable. The brutal truth is this. The items meant to preserve her memories ended up costing her connection. Letting go did not erase her past. It gave her room to live again. The fifth ugly thing is losing patience with others. Life felt heavier, so tolerance shortened. Lines felt longer. Delays felt personal. Margaret snapped at a cashier. The moment passed, but the look on his face stayed with her. Frustration did not fix anything. It only raised her stress and left guilt behind. Impatience punishes the body carrying it more than the person receiving it. Choosing patience became self protection. Pausing lowered her stress. Kindness softened her day. The sixth ugly thing is talking more and listening less. Margaret had wisdom. She wanted to help. So she filled the silence, interrupted, advised without being asked. Her daughter felt invisible. Conversations became rushed. Being talked over feels the same as being ignored, even when love exists. When Margaret learned to pause, something changed. The room calmed. Her daughter opened up. Listening did not make Margaret smaller. It made her presence stronger. The seventh ugly thing surprises most people, pushing help away in the name of independence. Margaret took pride in not needing anyone. When tasks became harder, she hid it. She smiled and said she was fine. She refused help. Every refusal trained people to stop offering, not because they did not care, because rejection teaches distance. Over time, offers disappeared. Margaret felt abandoned without realizing she built the wall. Accepting help did not weaken her, it reopened the connection. The eighth ugly thing is extreme frugality that steals joy. Margaret saved carefully, too carefully. Fear replaced balance. Every invitation felt risky. She saved for emergencies that never came while missing moments that did. One day she realized the future she was preparing for was already here. Allowing herself intentional enjoyment did not make her unsafe. It made her present. The ninth ugly thing is talking down to younger generations. Margaret compared the past to the present. What felt like wisdom sounded like dismissal. The younger family stopped sharing. Connection weakened quietly. Comparison builds distance. Curiosity builds bridges. Asking questions restored trust without agreement being required. The 10th ugly thing is holding grudges and replaying regrets. Old arguments replayed at night. The past lived rent-free in her mind. The brutal truth is this: the past does not feel pain anymore. You do. Carrying resentment keeps the body tense. Sleep suffers. Health follows. Letting go did not excuse the past. It reclaimed her present. The 11th ugly thing is ignoring health warning signs. Margaret dismissed dizziness, fatigue, balance issues. She did not want to overreact. Ignoring early symptoms does not protect independence. It risks it. When she finally fell, action followed. Adjustments helped. Prevention gave her control back. Taking health seriously was not surrender. It was self-respect. The 12th ugly thing is forgetting to invite joy. Somewhere along the way, Margaret stopped laughing. Routine replaced curiosity. News replaced music. Here is the brutal truth: joy does not survive on its own. It must be chosen. When Margaret made space for laughter, her body relaxed. Her mood lifted. People responded to her warmth. Joy did not erase problems. It made them easier to carry. Pause for a moment and really sit with this. This conversation is not about shame, and it never was. Shame shuts people down. Clarity opens doors. What we have talked about today is uncomfortable because it touches habits that feel familiar and automatic. The brutal truth is that small behaviors repeated every day quietly shape the life you experience. Not overnight, not dramatically, but steadily. One comment, one refusal, one avoided effort at a time. Aging does not suddenly make people disappear from your life. Unexamined patterns do. Here is the hard truth most people never say out loud. Growing older does not give you fewer choices. It gives you fewer chances to ignore the impact of those choices. The margin for autopilot gets smaller. That does not mean you are weaker. It means awareness matters more than ever. Awareness is power. Awareness is dignity. Awareness is how you protect your independence without isolating yourself from the people who care about you. Aging does not mean fading into the background. It means deciding how you want to show up, with warmth or distance, with openness or resistance, with curiosity or judgment. These are not personality traits, they are daily decisions. And the good news is this: decisions can be changed at any age, no permission required. If a situation ever feels legally or financially complex, pause before guessing or assuming. Contact a licensed attorney or a qualified professional who can look at your specific circumstances and give real advice. You deserve guidance that is calm, accurate, and respectful. You are not a burden for asking questions. You are responsible for protecting yourself. And if something you heard today made you recognize a pattern in your own life or helped you avoid a mistake, do not keep it to yourself. Share it with a friend, a neighbor, a sibling, someone who may be quietly struggling. Many seniors fall into these patterns simply because no one ever explained them plainly. One honest conversation can change the direction of someone's life. Carry this forward with you. You still matter. Your presence still matters. Your choices still matter. And your rights do not expire with age.